Alrighty, you guys asked for it, therefore you guys are gonna get it. So, I ran a poll the other day talking about a terrain tutorial. Or just any tutorials in general. The options were gun game, storm devices, socials on trackers, and terrain. And you guys all voted for terrain, so... if you guys want to see the terrain that I made in my mini BR like this, or other terrain like Save the World's terrain like this, I'm gonna cover both in this video, just so I can kind of show you how they work. And just so you know, the rules we're going to be applying in this video also apply to tiles like these in the volcanic gallery, as you may have noticed from special delivery. But you guys can use those as well. It applies to those. So you're going to want to go to galleries and go to terrain first of all. And this works with every piece of terrain here. So brown cliff, grey cliff grass, brown cliff grass. These shark walls, it also applies to snow and sand as well. So we're going to do it with sand since I built it with I've built the others already. And we'll do snow for this one. So for the kind of mini BR style terrain that I did in my Battle Royale, which is being featured at the end of the month, I use Grid Snap 4 for these, and I use Grid Snap 2 for those. But what I'm going to do with these is you might notice that when I place them down, while yes, you hover over them with the phone, you get overlapping textures and whatever, but in game there's no overlapping textures, and this is because the texture is printed onto the world and not the tile. However, the tile is the only thing that can actually show these textures. So I believe if I also rotate, okay, let me go get into the nature galleries real quick, because there's actually a neat fact with these as well to kind of prove that as well. As you can see, we've got a different texture on the side as we do on the top. Well, if I'm going to go rotate these, you may notice now that that texture is at the top and not on the side anymore. And that is what I mean by the texture is printed onto the world. It's not printed onto the tile. Therefore, I mean, yes, it's printed onto the tile, but it's got like world kind of, you know what I mean. But that's why all these tiles don't have overlapping textures, which is how we can get terrain to work so well. And this is naturally the way people build terrain. You just overlap the terrain textures, or just the models. And that's what I've been doing, that's what everyone's been doing. And that's how basically you build terrain. So while this doesn't look anywhere near as nice as that one, you can also resize your terrain pieces as well. Just however you like, so I'm going to shrink it down. Going to do some little rotation tricks, or some like rotation magic. And we could probably make some unique shape out of this. Like that. And then we just shrink it again a little bit. Like that. And then we just keep on building our little, tiny little mountain here. And you guys can get as crazy and unique with terrain as you like. This is kind of how you build a simple mountain with these tiles, which is what my Battle Royales use. I don't use any tiles in my Battle Royales other than these. Other than, well, this one mountain in Orpheus, but I mean, that's about it. But that's kind of how you would do it with sand or grass. Like, as you see, I got my grass one over here. Now, as for this one, we're going to be doing it with snow. So if we go and get these snow tiles from Grey Snow Cliff, I guess. First of all, we need to get the larger tile like this. I use Grid Snap 2 for these, just because I feel like it's easier. So we're just going to build a little thing like that. Then we're going to get a corner piece, wherever those are. And we need to find one. There they are. So we need to have a corner like that. And then if we do this, just to kind of create that corner section. Now we have a gap here that needs to be filled. And this is also to do with resizing. So if we get another one of these, what we can do is we can resize the width. If I have my terrain positioned like that, I can resize the width until it covers up the entirety of that. And then we can switch to depth and extend it massively like this. And then we can rotate, so it's kind of flat lined up against the wall. And there we go. Now you just paste the terrain like that. And that's how you would create terrain. And you will get issues like this. This happens with Grid Snap. But you can fix those. Whether you just want to put more terrain here to kind of cover that up like this. Or I guess if I switch to grid snap 8 or something real quick, I can position it like that and that'll cover up that gap. Or you can just put some extra snow tiles over it. But this happens, it's just grid snap. But yeah, this is how you make terrain. And hopefully, I hope you guys, I hope this helps some of you. And hopefully you guys will be able to do terrain in some of your maps now, if you couldn't before. And hey, maybe you guys will get even better at terrain than some of the top creators. I mean, it's probably way easier to get better at terrain than me. I'm terrible with terrain. But one more thing I guess I can show you is if you are gonna end up struggling, let's go to grid snap 2. And we have an edge over here, for example. What will we do to kind of fix the edge, right? So let's just create that little edge right here, like this. Well, naturally, all you would do is you would pick this up and you would rotate it to face this wall. And problem solved. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.